Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Tiffany, retired librarian, turned homeschool mom. And in this video, we're going to be looking at this book, Cheesemaker, Makers and Artisans. The author is Josh Gregory. So this is a nonfiction book, since I'm focusing on interesting hobbies. In this case, cheesemaking, which is an interesting hobby. It's also an industrial job. So this is kind of a basic children's nonfiction book. Elementary age is the range. You can see by the writing here. Oh, I have a cat behind my door. Okay, it's small. You can barely see it. Sorry. There we go. See if I can tilt it. There we go. Slightly tilted away from the camera, but you can see the writing. So this covers a couple of different chapters. It covers old-fashioned flavor, which talks about the history of the cheese, from milk to much more. And that talks about how cheese is made. And then a career at the creamery, which talks about jobs in cheese making. And a taste of creativity, which talks about different types of cheese. So this chapter talks about how we discovered cheeses and where it came from. That we suspect cheeses were made by, some people suspect cheeses were made by accident because milk was being held in animal skins, and in animal stomachs, and cow stomachs and stuff have specific enzymes or bacteria that help make cheese. And this specifically, I'm going to mispronounce this, rennet, it could be mentally, is basically, it's a substance, the bacteria, really, in the stomachs of cows, goats, and other related animals. Mostly, bovine, and then again, goats, and sheep. I cannot remember what species they are. That basically helps make cheese. So this talks about the relatively simple process of making cheese a little bit, different types of cheese, different textures, and how we also have big companies and special artisans. So this is milk and much more. So this talks about pasteurization and the entire process of making cheese. It has little things about the wrong kind of curds, like, no, you cannot make cheese out of the milk that goes bad in your fridge. That can actually make you sick. How they shape the cheese, putting in brines, adding other ingredients like mold. There's actually different types of blue cheese. How they age the cheese or ripened. What they put. They can sometimes put oils and other stuff on the cheese as it rinds, or they can smoke it. Yes, my cat is meowing. And then this talks about the career of the creamery, what you would do. You would become an apprentice. You pay attention to chemistry if you're in school. And science, because that's the big thing on making cheese. It's a science. So, and how you would become a cheesemaker, and the taste of creativity. It talks about various different versions. It does actually mention an extremely disgusting cheese here in the end of this. It talks about I can't pronounce this because, again, I don't speak Italian, specifically from Sardinia. If you're familiar with cheeses, this is the one with the maggots in it. It's technically illegal. But people in Sardinia still make it. But again, it has maggots in it, therefore illegal. And talk about how you can try the different types of cheese. And then it actually has a recipe for making cheese. That involves, whole milk, lemon juice, which will curdle it, salt, cooking pot, large bowls, strainer, cheesecloth. You can try to make cheese. I've tried to make an Indian cheese before. It did not come out very well. It takes a lot of milk for a very low yield. So if you want to, you could try making a cheese. For my homeschoolers, it's a great science experiment. It's a great science experiment. I may try to make cheese with my daughter. I know there's recipes for mozzarella around. So, and you can easily make this. This is a really good introduction to the history of cheese and cheese making and the world of cheese. I am a very, very big cheese fan, as is my daughter. She actually loves Parmesan. We do not let her have that all that often because I have shredded Parmesan in my house because pasta and salads. So, but great book, very, very simple, good introduction to cheese and not very long. Again, this is an elementary age book that gives a really interesting basic introduction to the history and the processes of cheese and the world of professional cheese making and cheese. So that's the end of this review. If you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe. What do I have coming? So I have lots of stuff coming. This is January. This is being filmed in August, the very beginning of August. I'm behind my child, so I've been going to bed early enough. So, and it is almost 8:30 at night, which is why I'm yawning. Doing a bunch of creative kind of hobbies here in January. I'm doing Black History Month in February. That's coming up. I'm doing Women's History Month in March. In previous years, I have done Irish history, so you can check out if you're interested in that. I have various books and films and stuff that I've covered for Irish history in my catalog. Just go looking for them. They are there. I'm covering the Titanic in April because I want to. Because I want to. March, I'm covering it's Asian History Month. I am focusing on Asian history, specifically Angel Island. That's May. June, I'm covering Western immigration, focusing on Ellis Island. June. July, I am looking at women inventors. August, I'm looking at food. September, I'm doing a deep dive into Beauty and the Beast. That means I'm going to be reviewing the original source materials, the Disney films. Yes, I've seen them. Yes, we own both of them. Why? Because my daughter likes the live action, because the Beast is scary. 4-year-olds are interesting. They're just interesting. October, I'm covering space. Did I say I was covering? I'm covering, yeah, Women Inventors is July. That's what I'm covering in July. And then August is food. Space is in just October. I have covered the spooky stuff. If you want to check out my catalog, I have in fact covered the spooky stuff. November, I'm covering the Hindu festival of Diwali. I have covered Native American stuff before. I did it 2 years in a row. You run out of stuff to cover. You do. You just run out of stuff to cover. So we're going to do the Hindu festival of Diwali. And then December, I'm doing mysteries, because it's hopefully going to be cold. Again, I'm in Arizona. It's August. I want cold. I at least want 90s, maybe 80s, not 110s. Again, hopefully by the time you see this, it will be cold. At least as cold as we want it here. So, along with those themes, I'm covering the Animorphs, which should be going on right now, I think. I should be finishing up the Catherine Lasky's Bears on Ice, Bears of the Ice series. If you want to check out the rest, I did cover the Guardians of Goa'uld, which is the Owls, and the Wolves of Beyond. Those were covered in 2023. So, and have long since been filmed. So, then I'm covering Animorphs as a... They're an overview. There's too many books. Then I'm doing Anne of Green Gables, though that I think is overlapping a little bit with the Animorphs. Then I'm doing the Boxcar Children, and then I'm doing Wings of Fire. So those are the series that are coming up this year. So again, like and subscribe, leave a positive comment if you have one, and check out what I got. I have a decent catalog at this point. So thank you.